Max nodded and moved into position, using his agility to dodge the approaching holograms. He felt a rush of exhilaration as he maneuvered around them. He aimed a well-placed kick at one of the holograms, causing it to vanish in a flicker of light. "Good job," Lyra shouted, her excitement contagious. The team worked together, coordinating their attacks and covering each other's weaknesses. Max felt a growing sense of pride as they fought side by side. He had trained for this moment, and it felt incredible to finally put his skills to the test. But the drill was not without its challenges. The holographic opponents became more aggressive, launching coordinated attacks. Max found himself surrounded by multiple targets. He remembered what his instructors on Earth had taught him. When faced with danger, always look for a way out. "Stick together," he shouted to his team, pushing through the fear. "We can't let them corner us." With renewed determination, Max and his team regrouped, their movements becoming more fluid. They executed a series of well-timed maneuvers, taking down opponents one by one. As the last hologram fell, a wave of cheers erupted from their fellow students. "Great teamwork," Lyra exclaimed, her eyes shining with excitement. As the drill came to an end, Commander Zarnax called everyone back to the center of the arena. "Congratulations, cadets. You have successfully completed your first drill. You showed potential and teamwork, especially from the human," he added, pointing at Max. The other students erupted in applause, and Max felt a warm flush of pride. He had overcome their initial doubts and shown what a human could do without armor. As he walked off the platform, Lyra and the others surrounded him. "You were amazing, Max," she said. "I knew you could do it." Max smiled, feeling the bond with his new friends grow stronger. "Thanks. I couldn't have done it without you all." As they left the arena, Max realized that he was not just representing humanity. He was becoming part of something bigger, a team that embraced their differences and worked together. The day had been a success, but it was only the beginning. Max was ready for whatever challenges lay ahead, knowing that he would face them alongside his new friends. Together, they would show the galaxy what humans were truly capable of. "You said, the challenge ahead." The next morning at the Intergalactic Combat Academy, Max awoke with excitement and determination. The previous day's drill had boosted his confidence, but he knew that the challenges were only beginning. As he prepared for the day, he thought about how he could contribute more to his team. They had shown him that working together was key to success. After breakfast, the students gathered in the central courtyard. Commander Zarnax stood before them, his powerful voice echoing against the academy's towering walls. "Today, we will face a different kind of challenge. You will compete in the combat trials, where each team will face off in a series of tests that will test your combat skills, strategy, and teamwork." Max felt a mix of excitement and nerves. The trials would be intense, and he wanted to prove himself. He glanced around at his teammates. Lyra, with her blue skin and bright smile, was talking animatedly with the others about their strategy. As the commander announced the teams for the combat trials, Max felt a rush of adrenaline. His team was again paired together, which filled him with confidence. They were determined to perform well. Lyra gathered everyone together for a brief meeting before the trials began. "Listen up, team," she said, her voice steady and commanding. "We have trained hard for this. Let's use our strengths and cover each other's weaknesses. Max, you've shown you can handle pressure. We need you to lead our charge today." Max felt a surge of pride at Lyra's faith in him. "I'll do my best," he replied, a smile spreading across his face. The first trial took place in a vast arena filled with obstacles. The ground was uneven, with artificial hills, pits, and structures to hide behind. Each team would face a series of combat scenarios designed to test their strategy and adaptability. Max could feel the tension in the air as the other teams prepared. As the whistle blew, signaling the start of the first trial, Max and his team quickly moved into formation. They scattered, each taking their designated positions, Max took the lead, darting behind a hill to observe the movements of the opposing team. "Max, you will go first," Commander Zarnak said. "Show us what you can do." Taking a deep breath, Max stepped forward. He scanned the Rocky Mountains, recalling his memories of Earth. He thought about the skills that had kept him alive in the wilderness: climbing, hunting, and adapting to the environment. He began to move swiftly, climbing up the rocky outcrops, demonstrating the agility that had helped him survive. "Watch how he uses his surroundings," Lyra whispered to the others, her eyes wide with admiration. Max reached the top of a steep rock formation and looked down at his classmates. "The key to surviving in a death world is understanding your environment. You must learn to blend in and utilize what is around you," he called out, his voice confident. He demonstrated how to find shelter, using natural formations to protect himself from imaginary enemies. As he moved through the area, he pointed out edible plants and potential resources, explaining how he had survived on Earth with limited supplies. "Humans can adapt quickly. We learn from our mistakes," he said, smiling at his audience. As Max shared his knowledge, he felt more at ease. He noticed that the alien students were engaged, watching intently as he moved through the various challenges. They seemed to appreciate the practical skills he was demonstrating, and he could see their admiration growing. When he finished, he stepped back to join his team. "You all did great watching. I hope I didn't scare anyone too much," he joked, trying to ease the tension. The team laughed, feeling a sense of camaraderie. Next, it was Lyra's turn. She stepped up confidently and showcased her agility and strength. She leaped across gaps between rocks and climbed effortlessly. Max watched in awe as she explained the alien techniques that had helped her survive on her home planet. Lyra shared stories of her own challenges, highlighting the importance of teamwork and trust in overcoming obstacles. Her passion and strength inspired everyone around her. After her demonstration, the rest of the team took turns showcasing their unique skills. Max realized that each member of the team brought something special. They were not just learning from him. They were sharing their experiences and strategies as well. The atmosphere was charged with energy as they all supported each other, exchanging ideas and improving together. As the sun began to set, the group gathered to discuss what they had learned. Commander Zarnax praised each student for their efforts. "You have all shown great potential today. Remember, in battle, it is not just about individual strength. It is about using each other's strengths to create a powerful force." Max nodded, feeling a sense of belonging among his alien friends. He realized that he had found his place within this diverse group. They were all different, yet they shared a common goal: to become better fighters and protectors of their worlds. Later that evening, as they relaxed in the common area, Lyra approached Max. "You really surprised us today. Your knowledge of Earth and your skills are impressive. I think we can learn a lot from each other." "Thanks, Lyra," Max replied, feeling grateful. "I didn't expect to be able to contribute like this. I'm just trying to keep up with all of you. But you've shown us that we can learn from different worlds. Your experience as a Deathworlder is unique, and it's valuable," Lyra said with a smile. The conversation flowed easily as they talked about their homes, experiences, and dreams. Max felt a deep connection with his team, knowing that they were all working towards a common purpose. As they settled in for the night, Max reflected on the day. He had faced challenges, but with the support of his friends, he had also discovered his strengths. They were more than just students. They were becoming a family, united by their shared experiences and dreams of becoming protectors of their worlds. Tomorrow would bring new trials and new opportunities, and Max was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. With his team beside him, he felt confident that they could conquer anything together. The night of revelations. The stars shone brightly above the Intergalactic Combat Academy, casting a glow over the training grounds where Max and his friends gathered for an evening of relaxation. After a day filled with drills and demonstrations, the atmosphere was light and cheerful. Laughter echoed in the air as stories were shared around a small campfire. Max felt a sense of belonging that he hadn't experienced since leaving Earth. The warmth of the fire mirrored the warmth in his heart as he watched his friends enjoy themselves. Lyra, Oron, and Tika were swapping stories about their homeworlds, and each tale seemed more extraordinary than the last. "On my planet, the storms can turn deadly in an instant," Oron said, leaning back on his hands. "But we have a saying, in the chaos, there is clarity. We learn to navigate the wildest storms and find our way through." Tika added, "We have giant sandworms that can sense vibrations in the ground. They can swallow a person whole if they're not careful, but they are also part of our culture. We have learned to ride them and use them in battles." Max couldn't help but smile at their enthusiasm. "That sounds incredible. Earth has its own challenges too. You learn to respect nature, or it teaches you a harsh lesson." As the conversation flowed, the group began to share their fears and dreams. Lyra took a deep breath, looking up at the stars. "Sometimes, I wonder if I'm strong enough to protect my people. My planet is at war, and every day feels like a struggle." Max felt a pang of empathy. He understood what it felt like to be weighed down by the responsibility of protecting loved ones. "You are strong, Lyra. You've already proven that with your skills. Remember, strength isn't just about power. It's also about knowing when to stand up and fight." She smiled softly, appreciating his words. "Thank you, Max. Your support means a lot." Max then decided to share a bit about himself. "Back on Earth, I face challenges every day. I learned to survive alone in the wilderness, but I also learned the importance of teamwork and friendship. I lost people I cared about, and it made me realize that fighting alone isn't enough." Oron nodded thoughtfully. "We are lucky to have found each other. Together, we can face anything." As the night deepened, Max felt a sense of camaraderie growing among them. It was in that moment that Commander Zarnax approached, carrying a small device that resembled a holographic projector. "I hope I'm not interrupting," he said, his tone friendly. "I wanted to share something special with you all." The group fell silent, their attention focused on the commander. He activated the device, and a three-dimensional hologram appeared in the air. It displayed a series of images, revealing the history of the galaxy and the struggles faced by various races. "This is a record of our galaxy's history," Zarnax explained. "Every race has faced adversity. We all have stories of loss and victory. What you see here is not just the tale of one planet, but of many, fighting, surviving, and eventually thriving against great odds." Max watched intently as images of epic battles, alliances, and moments of despair filled the air. He felt a sense of connection to the struggles depicted. "We are not alone in our fight," he whispered, realizing that every race had faced its own demons. "Exactly," Zarnax affirmed. "And it is this shared experience that makes us stronger. You, as future protectors, must understand the weight of these stories. They will shape your destinies." As the hologram displayed a particular battle between aliens and a common enemy, the group's energy shifted. They watched in awe as heroes emerged, standing firm against overwhelming odds. Max felt inspired by the courage shown in those images. "Each of you carries the potential to be a hero," Zarnax said, his voice steady. "You will learn not only to fight but to lead and inspire others. This academy is just the beginning of your journey." The atmosphere grew solemn as they absorbed the weight of Zarnax's words. Max felt a sense of responsibility building within him. He wanted to make a difference, not just for himself, but for his friends and the worlds they came from. "I won't let you down," Max declared, determination in his voice. "We'll fight for each other and for the future of our planets." The group nodded in agreement, their resolve strengthening. They shared a moment of unity, knowing that they were bound together by purpose. It was a promise they made to one another. As the night continued, laughter returned, lightening the mood once more. They discussed their plans for the upcoming training, eager to apply what they had learned. But in the back of their minds lingered the knowledge that they were preparing for something much greater than themselves. Max looked around at his friends, feeling grateful for the bond they had formed. The connection they shared transcended the differences of their worlds. They were a team, united by their commitment to protect and fight for their homes. Later, as he lay in his sleeping quarters, Max stared up at the ceiling, reflecting on the day's events. He felt invigorated by the support of his friends and the teachings of Commander Zarnax. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, and he was ready to face them head-on. He closed his eyes, allowing the memories of the day to wash over him. It was clear that their journey was just beginning, and together they would face whatever awaited them, turning their fears into strength and their dreams into reality. The challenge. The next day dawned bright and clear over the Intergalactic Combat Academy. The sun poured through the tall windows, filling the training hall with warm light. Max awoke with a renewed sense of purpose, ready to embrace the challenges that lay ahead. Today was not just another day. It was the day of the first real test for all cadets. As he dressed in his combat gear, he could feel the excitement bubbling inside him. Max joined his friends for breakfast in the Academy's cafeteria. The smell of alien cuisine filled the air, but the atmosphere was charged with nervous energy. Cadets from various planets gathered at the long tables, exchanging glances and whispers about the upcoming challenge. "Are you ready for today?" Lyra asked, her eyes sparkling with determination. "More than ready," Max replied, his voice confident. "I'm excited to see how far we've come." Oran, who was busy picking at his food, looked up. "Just remember, it's not just about being the strongest. We have to work together." Max nodded, appreciating the reminder. They had all learned the importance of teamwork during their training, but today would put that knowledge to the test. As they finished their breakfast, the loudspeaker crackled to life. "Attention, cadets. Please report to the training grounds for the combat challenge. This is your opportunity to demonstrate your skills and teamwork. Be prepared to face various scenarios." The group exchanged glances, adrenaline rushing through them. They quickly made their way to the training grounds, where other cadets had already gathered. The field was massive, filled with various obstacles and equipment for the challenges they would face. Commander Zarnax stood at the center, his imposing figure casting a shadow over the assembled cadets. "Welcome to the combat challenge. You will be tested in various scenarios designed to push your limits and assess your teamwork. Remember, it is not just about individual strength. Your success depends on how well you can work together." Max felt a thrill run through him. This was it, the moment they had all been preparing for. The commander explained the rules. You will be divided into teams, and each team will face 3 scenarios. You must complete each task within the time limit to move on to the next round. Failure to complete a task will result in elimination from the challenge. Are you ready? The cadets shouted in unison, "Yes, sir." Max was placed in a team with Lyra, Oran, and Tika. As they huddled together, they quickly strategized, discussing each team member's strengths. "I'll handle the first scenario," Max said confidently. "I'm used to navigating tough terrains. I'll scout ahead and find the best path." "I'll back you up," Lyra replied, her tone serious. "I can provide cover and watch for any threats." "Great," Oran said. "Tika and I will handle any obstacles. We'll stay close to you." The first challenge involved navigating through a dense forest, filled with moving obstacles that represented potential dangers. Max felt a surge of excitement as they took their positions at the starting line. "Ready, set, go," the commander shouted. Max charged ahead, his heart pounding. The forest was alive with movement, but he focused on finding a clear path. He zigzagged through trees and ducked under branches, his instincts guiding him. "Over here," Lyra called, signaling him to the right. He followed her voice, trusting her judgment. Together, they navigated through the chaos, but suddenly, a large robotic creature emerged from the shadows, blocking their path. "Stay back," Max shouted, drawing his weapon. But Lyra had already aimed her blaster and fired at the creature. The blast hit its target, causing the robot to stagger. Max saw the opening and led the way as they sprinted past. "We need to keep moving," he urged, adrenaline surging through him. As they reached the end of the forest, they discovered a hidden clearing with a giant tower. The next task involved scaling the tower to retrieve a flag. The challenge intensified as they faced a series of obstacles designed to test their climbing skills. Max took the lead again, scaling the wall with ease. He felt the thrill of the challenge as he pulled himself up, but he could hear Lyra's voice urging him to be cautious. "Watch for the falling debris," she warned. The team worked in harmony, Oron using his strength to boost Tika up to higher ledges, while Lyra provided cover, scanning for any potential threats. Max reached the top first, feeling a rush of triumph as he grasped the flag. "Got it," he shouted, waving it triumphantly. The moment they descended, cheers erupted from their fellow cadets. They had successfully completed the first two challenges, and the camaraderie among the team was palpable. As they prepared for the final challenge, Max couldn't help but feel a surge of pride. They had come together as a unit, supporting each other through every obstacle. The final challenge involved a simulated battle against an enemy force. They would face holographic opponents designed to replicate real combat scenarios. Max's heart raced as they took their positions on the battlefield. "Stick together," he shouted, recalling the lessons they had learned. "We can do this." The simulation began, and waves of holographic enemies advanced toward them. Max felt the pressure mount, but he focused on his teammates. They moved in sync, covering each other as they engaged the enemy. "On your left," Tika called, firing her weapon at an approaching foe. Max spun around, ready to assist, his mind racing with strategies. They fought as a cohesive unit, coordinating their attacks and defending one another. In the heat of the battle, Max noticed Lyra getting surrounded. "Lyra," he shouted, sprinting toward her side. He fired his weapon, taking down the nearest enemy as he reached her. "I've got you." Together, they fought back to back, pushing through the onslaught of enemies. The challenge was fierce, but they refused to give up. With each enemy they defeated, their confidence grew, and the bond among them deepened. Finally, with one last coordinated effort, they took down the final wave of opponents. As the holograms flickered and disappeared, a cheer erupted from their teammates. Max's heart swelled with pride. They had done it together, overcoming each challenge and growing stronger as a team. As they regrouped, Commander Zarnax approached them, a proud smile on his face. "Congratulations, cadets. You have proven yourselves today. This is just the beginning of your journey. Remember, the bonds you formed here will carry you through even the toughest battles." Max looked at his friends, feeling a sense of accomplishment wash over him. They had faced their fears, relied on each other, and emerged victorious. He knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together.